last time when rating Pokemusu designs.
Up and you just wrapped your stretchy arms around me, and it was so fucking hot, and your dick was so perfect and long and stretchy, and you played my butt like jazz with poise and skill and willingness to improvise.
Okay, so last one we left off of Dugtrio, so next up would be Meowth. For her, I'd say it's a pretty easy yes, but not because of her appearance, but instead because...
I love gold!
Because if you can read from her description, depending on when you get in there, you can in fact get a ton of gold, which I would like. I would in fact like lots of gold.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Would I enjoy being with her, though, is a little... That's a different question. Design-wise, I think she's fine, but there's a bit of an odd trait with Meowth, because Meowth is a Pokemon, but also a very specific character from the anime. So, if this Meowth sounds anything like that Meowth...
I'm Bonnie from Lumio City! This is my cute friend, Denny!
I'm gonna be pretty fucking flaccid, like, the entire time, so hopefully that won't be the case. Okay, Persian. Persian's the most likely Musu to kill you, I think, of all of them, and they like doing it because they're all kind of awful. No. Great design, though. The Sphinx kind of aesthetic is super underrated. It's kind of weird to think about, because, like, everybody knows what a Sphinx looks like, but you never see them. You know, it's always, you got your dragons, you got your vampires, but, like, Sphinx doesn't get a lot of play. Okay, Psyduck. I remember Kinky had a lot of issues with this one, because the bill is such a prominent part of the design, but it also looks fucking terrible. So she just kind of went the route of, fuck that. Fuck the bill. We're not doing it. We'll do everything else, but ignore the bill. As for Wood Eye or One Eye, nah. I'd give her an ibuprofen and maybe help her find a place to... a dark room to take a nap in, you know, because I got low-key migraines, nothing as bad as what they have, but that shit sucks. I wouldn't want to mac on someone in that kind of position. Also, like, they can't control their psychic abilities, and I don't want to end up like that dude from Scanners, so... Probably not. Golduck. Golduck's good. Not really duck-ish. They're very... If I remember right, their skin's more like a dolphin's, which I think tracks with how they look in game, so... Golduck's always been a weird Pokemon, but yeah, she looks good here, no problem. Okay, Mankey and Primeape. I mentioned before, I think that this is part of the best glow-up designs of all the Musus Kinky's made. Because if you look at OG Primeape, it's supposed to be like a pig monkey, but it looks like this ball of, like, angry fur with, like, pipe cleaner arms, and it looks fucking terrible. Objectively hideous. So she basically ignored all of that and said, no, fuck this. We're making some badass martial arts ladies. I'm gonna give this one a new rating, because I don't have enough of those. It's gonna be... Hell yeah! Hell yeah! So yeah, absolute A+, fantastic. Okay, Growlithe. Growlithe's good. I mean, she's kind of just like a girl with a little bit of fur trim on like the arms and the legs, and that's kind of it. And I guess she has a tail. So it's like, yeah, no complaints. Arcanine. Looking back on this one, I kind of wish I snuck in an illegal Danish reference, but literally nobody would have gotten it except for me. That's why I declined to do it. Also, I had to Google what is that word? Ballistrius? I had to Google what the fuck that word was, because Kinky told me what the gap in the shield was for. I had to look up what those little arrow slits on castles are that you can shoot out of but not in of, because I assume that's the closest thing that you could use to describe what that is. As for like would I, won't I? I got a weird thing with dog dander. It's not an allergy thing, it's like whenever I pet like a dog, my hands always feel fucking filthy. And like even if I know the dog is like clean, there's like something in my brain where I'm like, there's something on my hands, I need to wash them. And with Growlithe, I feel like the fur is kind of limited enough that you can kind of overlook it, but Arcanine just has so much more that I feel like it would just constantly be a thing on my mind, so If I can get past that, maybe. Otherwise, I guess yellow? Alright, Poliwag. This is a pretty solid, yeah. Just freshwater mermaid. Nothing going wrong there. They default come in pods, but like, when's that downside? Okay, Poliwhirl. Okay, the things on her head, whenever I see this, all I can think of are those monsters from Elden Ring and Dark Souls. The ones that like have the bulbous eyes that jump in the air and spit the mist at you. In Elden Ring, it instantly kills you. In like DS2, I think it petrifies you. I fucking hate those things, and I do not like these eyes, and that's all I can think about when I see it. POLIWRATH, on the other hand, it still has eyes there, but they're not as, like, pronounced. Even though they're more threatening or whatever, they don't bother me as much. Poliwhirl, no. I'm gonna give POLIWRATH...
Hell yeah!
She looks fucking sick. Alright, Abra, KADABRA, and Alakazam. They're all good. I'd always be paranoid about them reading my mind, because they all can and just do. That would probably give me anxiety, so... Fling, yes. Permanent thing, maybe with boundaries, probably not. Okay, Machop, Machoke, and Machamp. These are all excellent. They're pretty much just buff girls that are kind of gray. When I first saw the designs, I was a little disappointed that they're like D&D fighters and not like actual martial artists, but looking at the decks, there's like a lot of martial artists and very little room for something like this, like a fighter type, so... And they do fit, it makes sense, so I'm not like mad about that, but it's a thing that when I first saw it, I was like, oh, man, oh well. I guess there's nothing saying they can't just use their hands to fight, but in most of the art, it kind of implies they don't, so... Yeah, still good, still very excellent. I also love to... I'm glad I was able to sneak in the reference in Machamp's design to that Superman line.
I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard, always taking constant care not to break something, to break someone. Never allowing myself to lose control, even for a moment, or someone could die.
Man, Justice League Unlimited was like way better written than it had any right to be at the time. Like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna give these ones a
Hell yeah!
BELLSPROUT. I'm not a fan of acid. Whenever I think of like acid, I'm just worried I'll end up like that dude from RoboCop who got doused in the toxic waste or the acid or whatever, and he just got totally fucked up. I don't want to end up like that. No thanks. Victory Bell is actually evil and will kill you. I said before, I think Persian's the most likely to kill you. That's still true. Victory Bell is the most likely to use you until you run out of value and then kill you afterwards. WEEPINBELL, though, I'll put a pin in that one. Put a yellow on that one. Tentacool and Tentacruel. I like the designs a lot. These are weird ones to work with for sure. I think these are also the most likely ones to kill you on accident based on the way they're written, so I would probably not go for it. Alright, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. Straight up. These are the best ones. I say that 100%. Say that 1,000%. These are the best ones so far. They're still in production. Because most of the other ones, like, you look at and I see cute girl, I see the original design, I see, you know, some of them will expand further and you'll see aspects of lore to the outside world. When I look at these designs, I'm like, you can make an entire series about this. Mecha pilots in, like, Fantasyland, but they're riding golems, is such a sick concept. You can just make that into its own thing. Like, straight up. You can make it, like, imagine a fucking anime that's just that. Don't make it a fucking isekai, because fuck that, but you can just do that. And it would be hype as hell. It would be super good. I'd love it. And you know what? Hang on a sec. I need to pull out my... Let me just pull out my dock here, and... Okay, good. Next up, Ponyta and Rapidash. They're cute, but the pussy's kind of weird. I don't know what it is. Like, I'm sure they're very majestic and they look cute, but I don't know. Hussy kind of weird to me. With Rapidash, this is the first one I actually started putting in proper quotes. I was inspired by, I saw this sick video about flavor text on like magic cards, and I was like, oh shit, I should do that. I should put in stuff like that, because some of the ones before had quotes, but they weren't as flavorful and direct. It was more like an incidental kind of thing, whereas these, a lot of them are made from the Musu themselves. Because I thought that was weird. It's like, it's supposed to be an encyclopedia of these monster girls, and even though most, if not all of them, are capable of communication, we don't have any word from them, which to me sounded weird. So I just started putting in these ones, and Kinky liked the idea, so that's kind of what we've been going for. Okay, Slowpoke and Slowbro. Yeah, these ones are good. Whereas with some of the earlier ones, I had concerns about consent logistics. Slowpoke can communicate. They can't talk, but they can communicate, so, like, that's fine. And Slowbro's fine. They can talk and do whatever. Magnemite and Magneton. If I remember correctly, they're made of metal, but I think their bodies are still, like, pliable and kind of soft. Don't ask me how it makes sense. I don't know, but I believe that is the official lore. I don't know if it's like liquid metal or something. I'd say these are fine, and they don't present any kind of obvious danger, so yeah. Okay, Farfetch'd. This is a very toned down version of the original description. The original one, I roasted it way harder, because that's what Game Freak did when they made Farfetch'd. Like, holy shit, Farfetch'd was like bottom 5 Pokemon in like Gen 1. Maybe even lower than that. Like, Farfetch'd was bad. Like, bad. Had nothing going for it. Game Freak was roasting Farfetch'd since day one, and then Kinky comes back and says, no, you made it too mean. It's like, the game made it too mean. What do you mean? So I toned it down a little bit. I referenced the leak giving it a crit boost. But, no, I wouldn't have sex with it, though, because it's funnier if I don't. Okay, DODUO and Dodrio. If I was making the lore for these, I would have made these the most, like, powerful Musu ever, because I have a personal attachment to ostriches, and I want to make them, like, the most powerful things in every setting I make for slightly complicated reasons I won't explain here. I wouldn't have sex with them, though. My attachment to them is purely from a comedic and wanting to see them be very powerful and have nothing to do with intercourse with them. Okay, Seal and Dugong. These are alright. They're just thick mermaids with, I guess they have fur, they don't really have scales. Yeah, these are good. Grimer and Muck. I will once again refer you to the RoboCop toxic waste scene. No thanks. Okay, Shelder and Cloyster. I remember these ones were a bit of a headache when they were first being pitched. Because if you look at Shelder's OG design, like the inside of it, like that's what it is. It's the muscle inside the clamshell. That's what Shelder's like supposed to be. But it's just this black like circle. And when she originally made it, she's like, is this too close to blackface? And I was like, I know it's not what it is, but Twitter's Twitter. I would put a little more purple in there. And so she did. That's why if you look at them like side by side, they're not quite the same shade. And then when she posted it up, everybody just said, oh, look, a water Haru from Persona 5, yay. And it's like, well, I guess if nobody mentioned it, I guess it worked. But it was like I was worried this was going to be a whole thing, and then it was absolutely fucking nothing. Wood Smash? I mean, Cloyster's basically Mandy from Totally Spies, so probably. Shelder, I don't know. Shelder's body composition's kind of whack. Put a maybe on that. Okay, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I'm kind of a basic bitch in that, like, I like the ghosts in, like, most gens. They're almost always my favorites in them. There's probably one other one design-wise that I'd put up there that's coming up soon, but yeah. She did a fantastic job with all of them. Would probably have sex with all of them. I know Haunter fucking kills you, but, like, goddamn. Also, I'm gonna say a controversial opinion. I think that Kinky Haunter design is better than Kinky Gengar design. Kinky Gengar design reminds me of the closet furry chick from the anime club and high school who would glomp you and tell you lost the game. Yeah. If you're into that, that's fine. I understand the appeal. I'm just saying I like one more than the other, you know? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all excellent. Very nice. Very fun to write, too. All of them, because, you know, ghosts give you a lot of possibilities. I'm glad I was able to reference the opening scene from Red and Blue and the anime and, like, everything else. For some reason, Nidorinos and Gengars are just always fucking fighting in these games, and I wasn't on board with Nidorino, so I put it into Gengars. In hindsight, I probably would have put it in Nidorinos and then did a different thing with Gengar, but I wanted to put it in somewhere. Okay, ONIX. This is the other one that I'm like, yo, ONIX looks sick as hell. Like, giant rock snake. Like, holy shit. This is so badass. And in the games, they're fucking terrible. They're like the worst mon ever. They're down there with FARFETCH'D, and they've, like, always been bad. Like, forever. They're still better than FARFETCH'D, I think. Because you can at least, like, wall stuff, but goddamn. But yeah. And then Kinky came up to me and is like, oh, also, their personality is they're like Andy Worski in that video where he's telling people to stay away from him or he's gonna shoot them with a gun.
Oh, pull it out, pull it out. Stay the fuck back. You wanna get shot? Stay back. You get shot. You get shot. You get shot. Stand the fuck back.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is like double Christmas. I'm so excited that I get to sneak in a reference to Dune. I get to reference Andy Worski making an ass of himself. This is the fucking best. Would smash, yes, but I would also want to do this. DROWZEE. DROWZEE is kind of a weird one because with the clothes, it's almost impossible to tell that they are supposed to be drowsy. They don't have the snoot. They're still yellow and like dipped in chocolate. You know, in clothes, you can't really tell. I like that how much personality I was able to give them in the writing. Like these ones are fun. I like DROWZEE a lot. They're weird mind goblins that buy dreams. Yeah. Would smash. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. HYPNO? HYPNO's the most ugly bastard Pokemon in, like, the entire Dex, so everybody kind of had expectations of what they were gonna get. I think the design is good. It does look like HYPNO, but it also just makes me think of, if you've ever seen, like, the Cinema Snob talking about live-action Simpsons porn parodies, like, it makes me think of that for some reason, so I'm not super thrilled about that prospect myself. But it is a quality design that is evocative of HYPNO without being weird and rapey, which that is already a high bar to cross, so I think she did a great job with them. Okay, KRABBY and Kingler. Do you guys know what crabs and, like, lobsters are? Salty bugs. I ain't about that. Voltorb and Electrode. No thanks. Okay, then I'll stop here and I'll finish off the rest whenever they're done. I don't know when that will be. I think it's projected to be like the beginning of next year or something like that. I don't know, depending on how things go. Maybe it'll be sooner, maybe it'll be later. I don't know. I'll tabulate whatever my current score is and add it up with the last videos so that way we have a better running tally. I think I should have scored more yeses now than I did before, so I guess we'll have to see how that clocks out. In the meantime, I hope you liked whatever the fuck this is, and hope you guys have a good one, dudes.